Timo Werner. We remember him, don't we? Had his struggles at Chelsea. Now we hear Tottenham have agreed a deal to sign the former Chelsea striker Timo Werner on loan from Leipzig with a potential option to buy him at 15 million quid. What did you think of Werner first time around here in the UK?
He needs 5 opportunities to score a goal, which ain't a top striker. I think he had one good year prior to coming here. He found it difficult to get goals. I would say nothing's changed. He's gone back to Leipzig, played 8 games this year and scored 2 goals. He's a stocking filler. He's another body. And I imagine, in saying that, I don't think he'll do very well for Spurs, but in saying that, he's the kind of player that I'll get 3 or 4 chances in every game he plays in because he's rapid. He seems to be in the right place at the right time. He just can't get his feet sorted out. He's a player, I think, you could look at him one year, he could get 30 goals. In the following year, you get 5 or 6. So he could have the most incredible purple patch between now and the end of the season at Spurs, and then have to sign him. But I don't. He just looks like someone who finds it difficult to make decisions.
Does he do anything for Richarlison? Does he give something to Richarlison by being a willing runner for someone that runs into the channels and creates opportunities like Darwin Núñez was doing in the second half of Liverpool, which was constantly coming in from the left-hand side and creating opportunities as a result of it? Does he give Richarlison? Because there's this thing about Richarlison, I've always felt that there's a player that could really do something quite significant if he got himself together and stopped walking around like impending doom. We sat in here with was it Herrera Gomez last week who talked about Richarlison and actually what he was like off the field as a boy, and the difficulties he might have had in the last season or so. He's beginning to score goals for Spurs now. Son's out of commission for a period of time. Can you see any footballing reason behind Spurs besides this is a body that Daniel might be prepared to sanction economically?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a great on-paper decision,
no,
does it?
Let's lose a West Ham fan. Werner equals Núñez.
Núñez is... I understand what he says. I think Núñez is... falls into that category where he needs too many chances to score goals. That may change for him. He's still a young man. For Werner, I don't see that changing. But he could have one purple patch in any season or a purple season. I just no. But maybe they feel they can get a body in that will fill in for people who are out injured or maybe
to
away.
be fair to them, Graeme, you've been critical of Daniel Levy in the past for not backing his manager. If Postecoglou thinks Werner can do me a job here, can you get him, Daniel?
He obviously thinks we might end up with red faces at the end of it. He might come in and get a dozen goals, but I doubt it because his track record would suggest at Chelsea and this year he's back at Leipzig. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. You also have to say that at this time of year, it's very difficult to get major signings at this time of year. It's a stocking filler. It's filling a void.
Those that want to bash Daniel Levy will say this is a typical Spurs transaction which involves very little capital outlay and potentially someone that come in can do a job, and even if he doesn't, the economic hardship isn't there. The other side of the argument is that the only reason you're really coming in for him is because Son's away. So with that in mind, it's, as Graeme probably is right to say, it's a stocking filler. He's a Premier League experience. He might do a job for a period of time, and even if he doesn't, it costs.
Sam, he could end up doing a great job. He could just come back and just have a moment in time.
Even if he doesn't, Graeme, it's a loan deal with the option potentially to buy at 15 million. They don't need to take the option up.
Yeah, I again, as a football person looking at him at Chelsea, he just decision making at that vital time. Strikers, I've said already today, it's the hardest place to play in the football field. You got a nanosecond to make that decision, and he just doesn't seem to make the right decision.
I don't think it's a Postecoglou decision, Jim. I think what will have happened is an agent will have punted it into Spurs. Spurs will have gone downstairs to Postecoglou and go, I can get you Werner. There's a short-term stocking filler. Fancy him? And the manager will go, yeah, all right. Fine with that.
He's not going to hurt us financially. Yeah. It's a gamble for them.
Okay.
It ain't going to hurt them. But then when you factor in, you hear it all the time, small margins. They could miss out on the Champions League by 1 point.
I mean, some Tottenham fans quite rightly would be saying, maybe when they hear this news, how come in such a short space of time we're going from Kane to Werner?
They've not exactly missed Harry, which I thought they would.
Exactly.
This is a stocking filler because they see themselves short. You know, I'll come back to the small margins, but how many games is Sloan away for? Is it 4 or 5 games?
A month.
I think they're away for a month.
So it could be, say 5-6 games.
5-6 games.
You know, I talk about you could miss out on the Champions League spot by not having an extra striker on the bench to maybe nick you a goal in a game.
Well, Timo Werner to Tottenham, it is on the go and very much in process, so we hear.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.